So Lesbian Lives is the only conference really that's been going for so long that actually has lesbian in the title, and to me that's really important. It doesn't have to define what a lesbian is, but it's really key that we have lesbian visibility because we don't get enough space and we don't get enough time. And this conference, has persisted despite all kinds of trials and tribulations. And so for me it's key because it names lesbian, it names it as important, and it names it as central to the ways we think about sexuality and gender. And whether you're a lesbian or not is kind of irrelevant to that. It's about coming together under the banner.
It's amazing to be here. I've been to a few Lesbian Lives conferences, and obviously it was always this legend that Lesbian Lives was from Ireland and then had to move, had been displaced for a while to Brighton, so I've only ever been to the Brighton one. So it feels really important to be back here, home, where Lesbian Lives is from. And I really like how this conference uses the word lesbian as its overarching banner. So I think lesbians are always asked to be subsumed into everything else, gay culture, LGBT, gay history, gay laws, gay policy. There's lots of different words used, and the L word is not so often used. So this is just so lovely to see a conference where it actually includes people from lots of different backgrounds in the overall kind of queer umbrella. And for once, all of it comes underneath the banner of Lesbian for a Change, and everyone is happy to join together under that banner. And I think that's quite liberating and really positive to see as well.
There's just something really fabulous about having it here. Cork has always had a really strong lesbian presence, and it just seemed really fitting to have it here. We're delighted, yeah.
It feels like being home, because in my private life, it's a very diverse mix of different kinds of people. I feel like I have plenty of lesbians in my life, including my partner, and so it just kind of feels like what life is actually like. And what becomes difficult is when we move more into a public sphere and just the identities that we live through become politicized and polarized by other people. It becomes very difficult to just sort of be the way you are in private life and public life sometimes. So it's like I just find it very valuable, to be here among friends and colleagues, many people that I've known and worked with for many, many years, and to be in a public space that feels as rich and generative as the private networks that I actually move through.
About 3 years ago, Kath Browne, who was one of the long-standing organisers, approached Mary and said, is there any chance that we'd be interested in UCC? And we jumped at the idea, particularly because we've really good friendships and networks with community organisations and with LINK here in Cork, and so we reached out and to make sure it would be a participatory conference in the spirit of Lesbian Lives, which includes activists, community organisations, researchers, students, academics, and so it just felt like the right time to do it. Mm-hmm. And with Mary at the helm, it just made it possible, really.
Well, when Fiacre says Mary at the helm, we have a great bunch of people who couldn't have done it without Fiacre, and just to acknowledge as well the importance of male allies in this, we have a great bunch of volunteers from the network, too many to mention maybe, but will we mention a few? Mary Byrne, Debs Carrisk, Ciara Murphy, Julie Butters, Kasia Pearce. And there's a whole bunch of other staff and students who've been involved in organising this, and it wouldn't have been possible without them. So thanks to everybody for that.